New developments in a horrific case that's more than a decade old. Tonight, a suspect pleads guilty to murder and dismembering two gay men.
How do you think a parent might react when confronted with their child's attackers? In this video, we will witness some intense court moments where parents give a piece of their mind to their child's murderers. Antonio Hughes was quietly sitting at the back of the courtroom in Hamilton County. His feelings were so strong that he couldn't control himself and suddenly rushed towards the table where the person accused of a heinous crime, Daisha Brown, was sitting. Without any warning, Hughes started hitting Brown. Even though there were police officers there, Hughes didn't stop and kept hitting Brown. Two sheriff's deputies acted quickly and came to stop Hughes. They tackled him to the ground to bring things under control. But even after they handcuffed Hughes and had 3 officers around him, he still tried to go after Brown. It took 4 officers to bring Hughes to the ground again and ensure things were safe. The person on trial, Deshaun Brown, was accused of stabbing someone named Lattimore in December 2020. News reports say that investigators found out Brown had planned the murder carefully for several months. He waited a few days before putting Lattimore's body in the bag and getting an Uber driver to take it to the Ohio River. Brown lied to the driver, saying the bag only had clothes. Hughes was eventually charged with disrespecting the court and had to spend 7 days in jail. Lattimore's body was found close to the Purple People Bridge on December 12, 2020. Detectives discovered blood from Lattimore on a blanket from Paw Patrol beside her body. They also found a stroller nearby, important evidence in the case. Larry Nassar, once a well-regarded American sports medicine doctor, was found guilty of repeatedly molesting children. What's especially troubling is that Nassar was given the job of being the team doctor for the U.S. women's gymnastics team for a shocking 18 years. Instead of caring for the athlete's health, he misused his position and sexually assaulted numerous kids and young women. During a sentencing hearing, a father named Randall Margraves, whose 3 daughters had been attacked by Nassar, couldn't hold back his feelings any longer. His anger and frustration overwhelmed him, and he couldn't control his emotions. He rushed towards Nassar, but deputies quickly stopped him and returned the order to the courtroom. While he was shouting, Margraves said, "Let me have that man, just give me 1 minute with him." His strong emotion showed how deeply he was hurting and how much he wanted justice. Larry Nassar, someone respected in gymnastics, tricked his victims by pretending everything he did to be normal. This made them question whether the abuse they experienced was even real. He manipulated them and convinced them that speaking up would make things worse for them. Because of Nassar, these women lost trust in many people, like family members, partners, doctors, strangers, friends, and even teachers. All because of what they went through because of him. After being handed a 25-year sentence, a man who confessed to killing his baby son was attacked as he left the courtroom. Quinn Bose, a 23-year-old resident of Patoka, Indiana, was taken into custody in May 2018 after his 11-week-old son Parker died from severe head injuries. Initially, Bose claimed he was asleep when the incident occurred and only realized something was amiss. He said the baby somehow slipped out of a nursing pillow and fell onto the ground, leading to the tragic outcome. However, medical experts determined that the nature of the infant's head injuries did not match up with an accidental fall, contradicting Bose's initial explanation. Eventually, Bose changed his plea to guilty for a level 2 felony domestic battery charge resulting in death. During the final arguments, Bose's defense team emphasized his admission of guilt to provide closure for the mourning family. Although Bose could have reached a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison, the final decision was 19 years behind bars with an additional 6 years on work release. In Tampa, Florida, a man named Scott Schweikert committed crimes that were awful and incredibly evil. Schweikert and his partner in crime, Steven Lorenzo, came into contact with 2 unsuspecting men, Jason Galehouse and Michael Wachholtz, at a gay nightclub. Little did these young men know that their encounters would lead them to endure unimaginable suffering. Schweikert and Lorenzo convinced Galehouse and Wachholtz to go to Lorenzo's house, where their nightmare began. They were treated with extreme cruelty, showing no humanity. His body was cut apart and then heartlessly thrown away. At the same time, Michael Wachholtz suffered a similar fate and was left in a jeep. Scott Schweikart, already serving a 40-year sentence, faced justice again in court. He admitted to the murders of Gail House and Wacholtz. Schweikart made a deal with the prosecutors in a desperate attempt for leniency. He agreed to testify against his partner Stephen Lorenzo, who was also serving a 200-year sentence in federal prison. During the trial, the mother of one of the victims took the stand. She expressed disgust at even being in the same room as the criminals. Her strong hatred could be felt throughout the courtroom. That concludes today's video. If you like our content, consider subscribing to our channel. Until next time.